What's up guys, this is 1rhino1 and this is the final video of the Ithaka. What we're going to be doing is installing the coils so we can begin to vape. I have here the centerpiece, the positive connection down here of course, and the negative up here. I want to first explain that your negative wires go on the metal side. These metal channels get the negative wires. The positive wires go on the ceramic side. And when you're putting this together, you want those wires as tight in those channels as you can get them without messing your wick up or your coil up. Now the way I put my wicks in was from a guy. I learned it from a guy, a big old Italian dude online, and he was doing it this way, and I think it's just real smart. I think he did a great job, so I want to steal his idea. But I am not a plagiarizer, so I want to give him credit for this. I don't remember his name, but I'm sure you might have seen some of his videos. What he does, instead of doing it the traditional way of putting them both just straight across like so, he actually crosses one like this. Just like so. So it goes from this channel across to the other channel. My coil, as you can see, is dead center. And then the other one actually crosses over, and what you get is this X pattern. So it'll go the other way. The reason I think that he does this is the reason that I do it. It helped me a whole bunch because I had a flooding issue. And I had lots of liquid coming out of the bottom. I'd get this thing all built and all put together, and I'd go to smoke it, and there'd be liquid just, it'd just be full in there, and it'd cause that hot liquid to shoot up in my mouth, and it's really a bother. But anyways, this is how he did it, so that's how I'm going to do it. Since we've got it crossing channels, these two would normally touch, so we've got to put something in between them to make sure that the two coils don't come in contact with each other. So we put just another blank piece of wick right over the top of it. Now once you do that, sometimes it's a pain in the butt to keep it where it needs to be, but I'm going to try and show you. So it should look just like that. Now we're going to take our other one and run it over the top of it, like so. And we're going to kind of pin it down in place with my finger here. Once I've got them right where I want them, I kind of position myself where I can pinch the body and keep this finger pressed against those wicks to keep them in place. So we're going to run our negative wire. What we do is we back this nut off a little bit and take this wire and get it down in that channel and then wrap it around there. Just going this way. We're going to wrap that other wire just the same way we wrapped the first one, same direction and all. And sometimes these can be a little bit of a bear, so while keeping good solid pressure on this top, I go ahead and just yank these a little bit to get those wires to sit way down in there. See, I'll kind of just push them over like so and catch them with that finger, hold them there tight, and then put the nut down. Boom. Now, I'll go ahead and twist over to this side, and I'm going to do my positive connection. I'll make sure that negative's in there real good. I take these two wires down and I'm gripping them with my finger and my thumb there, and I put my thumb up against that post and pull them tight, and then stick a finger right there to hold them in place. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of lay them over this gear looking edge. And what I do is I bring them in tight and I give them kind of a twist like so and spread those wires. What I'm doing is I'm basically just creating a butterfly nut, that you can hand twist to perfection. So that's what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to twist it around and around until I've got a nice tight positive connection. And here we are. Now I don't want to twist this too much. I used to do it with pliers, but I just kept breaking my wires. I was just getting kind of stupid with it. But let's see here. Once we've got that tightened down, I want to check and make sure my coils are still just the way I made them. I don't want this to pull over and be stuck over the edge, because that happens to me every once in a while. I don't watch what I'm doing, and I'll pull that wire too tight and it'll go over the edge. So I just make sure everything looks nice and tight and decent. These wires are a little bit more loose than I like. They're kind of sticking out of the channel, so I'll take and just kind of press them in with this fingernail clipper edge here. It's kind of a nail file there. Just press it down in there. Just a little extra precaution. I don't think it matters that much on the negative side. It would definitely matter on the positive side, because anytime our positive touches our negative, we're screwed. Okay. So what I do is now I'm just going to clip this off real close. but not too close. Just close enough. Then I'm going to take and press this down like this. I just kind of use that file. I'm doing this just so I can have a good solid connection. Once again, I don't want any problems coming out of this thing. Now I've got that where I want it. I'm going to go ahead and snip those negative wires. So this is what I should be looking like when I'm done. And I'll see if I can get you a better picture here. Oh, there we are. Boom. Just like so. Now let's see here. Let's see if we get this going the rest of the way. Now what we're going to do at this point is take our wicks and stuff them down in these channels. And I do this nice and slow and just make sure they're covering my wires. You know, I don't want those wires touching anything else but what they're touching right now. Same on this side. Just kind of tuck them down in those channels. And then I'll take and bring it around like this. Just make sure it's nice and tight. The little wire that I use to keep them separated, or I'm sorry, wick I use to keep it separated, I'm just going to go ahead and trim that off. Like so. And this side here, nice and easy. Don't want to accidentally cut my coil or something stupid like that. Now I'm going to take this piece, which is just kind of the center piece that holds it on the base. And I'm going to go this direction. At first I used to go this direction, but that was a mistake. Going this direction, I hit my wick a lot less. It gets into the threads sometimes going from the other direction. Now when I'm screwing this in, I try not to ever grab it by the positive post. I try to grab it by this nut down here. And right now I'm just pressing those wicks against that nut while I screw it in. Once I've got it past there, I go to using this side to unscrew it. Okay. So let me get that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and screw this out far enough that it won't make a connection, because I want to be real careful while I'm making that connection. It's just, some people may not do it that way. I do, just to be safe. Okay. I clip these wicks off just at level there, just so they won't be in the way of the connection I'm going to make at the base. Back them down a little bit there. Now we're ready to screw it into our base, which I got to find here. Must have thrown it. Let's see. Let's see, where is that dang thing? Here it is. It's actually still on the smoker. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and break this down just to be safe, so I can really show you how I put it together. See, this little thing will stick in. This is the little O-ring that keeps it from leaking out of the bottom into the air hole, and also keeps that positive wire on the bottom of this from connecting to this negative base, because we all know that's a bad deal. See here, we'll screw this down. I like to screw it all the way down nice and tight. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to twist this piece until I got a good solid connection. But I don't want to twist it too much, because if I were to damage this O-ring here, we'd have wire touching negative, and that'd be a problem. But if I twist it too little, what happens is this mouthpiece connects here, and later if I decide to increase my juice flow and I unscrew this, it could potentially stick and unscrew that as well, this bottom piece, and I don't want that. So I just want to get it tight enough to make a connection, and that seems pretty good right there. While putting this together, there's channels in that center pin that holds it to the base. You got to make sure those channels are right over the top of your wicks, because that's where your liquid flows into. And that'll keep you from having to use this mouthpiece function here, which that mouthpiece just screws on like so. Later, while you're vaping, you'll just be able to twist that open to get more liquid. Okay, so we're all geared up and ready to go into the base now. Let me screw that in here. Here's the air control valve and the bottom of the smoker here. So let's see, this is sticking out a little far, but I did unscrew it just a minute ago. I like to make sure that this is going to work here. I check this and make sure that this is just past level so that I'm going to get a good solid connection to my battery. And that's how I put these together. Now, I've been having issues with this one in particular. I'm going to attempt to light it, but I don't know if it's going to work or not, to be right honest with you, because it's been giving me so much trouble. Let's check it here. Ooh, 1.3 ohm resistance. Let me see if I can get you a little bit closer to that. Oh. Let's see. Oh. I think that's about as good as that's going to get. But anyways, let's give it a fire here. I've got my battery on 4.9 volts. Stick it up just a little bit further. Looks like it's getting nice and hot. Good. I did not want to light this and have it not go. Not while I'm teaching people how to use them. That would have been a bad deal. Okay, it's firing real well. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and put the mouthpiece on it here. Let me refocus. There we are. Let's screw that mouthpiece on. Now when I put the mouthpiece on, I don't like to put it on too tight, because like I said, if it sticks to that middle when I go to unscrew it and it unscrews that part, it's just a real pain. You got to empty all the liquid out, pull it back out, screw it back in. It's a pain in the butt. So I just put this on real loose so I can just loosen it and tighten it back down anytime I want. Get it down there to where I know it's touching, and that I call that good. This next piece is the piece that's going to have your serial number on it. So we'll put that on. That way you know you're getting a genuine clone Ithaka. Now this piece I screwed up once. I put it on like this before. It'll thread, but let's put it on like this. That's the correct way. Okay. Alright. Now let's fill it up with juice here. Let's just make this as hard for you to see as possible. Let me see. There we go. There we go. We're going to fill it up. I just fill it all the way to the brim. I'm not scared. My wife, she kind of sissy foots around a little bit ever so often. Uh-oh, I got this mouthpiece a little crooked. No, it's good. Screwing that sucker on there. And boom. Now let's loosen this mouthpiece up, or not the mouthpiece, excuse me, the air control, just so we're not sucking a brick here. Let's see. Not too bad. That's that. If you have any questions, get a hold of me. I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. I actually spent hours and hours and hours and hours screwing with this thing, trying to figure out what was going on with it, because I didn't know that it was installed improperly from the factory. And that really, I mean, that cost me like $9 worth of wick. Because I'm the type of guy that if I can't figure something out, I'm just going to keep screwing with it until I do. But anyways, everything I've shown you is part of my trial and error. And I mean, that was about a 3-week period. So, but anyways, most of the time this goes together real easy. But the biggest problem I have is with that center post. That center post causes issues when that O-ring goes back. You can't even tell half the time that the O-ring's bad. You've got to take it out and put a new one in. Try that heatsink trick that I showed on another video. That's really been working pretty good for me. And I've got to be careful when I do that, because if I don't do it right, I'm taking the whole thing apart once again. I'm going to kick this sucker up to 6 volts and give it one more puff, and we're going to call it good. It's definitely hitting. Well, good luck, and thanks for watching.